You might have heard that live shopping is exploding. And I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop, prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15.
How would you like to take an all-inclusive vacation? Would that be cool? And get a great deal, too. That would be cooler. You can. All you have to do is check out my newest sponsor, cheapcaribbean.com/daily-boost. Make sure you put that dash or that minus symbol, that daily and boost. Put it between the daily and you get it. In between the daily dash boost. It's worth it. Do it. Save some money. Have a great vacation. How are you? And happy Monday. Did you have a good weekend? Are you ready for an awesome week? And by the way, are you ready for some self-inflicted change? Huh? I know it sounds kind of scary, doesn't it? But the best kind is self-inflicted, because sometimes it doesn't happen that way, does it? We'll chat about that a little bit today in the program. It's the Daily Boost from motivationtomove.com, the positive boost you need every single day. Life begins when you move, and then here's what you do, the world's simplest success recipe. You stand up, you take a step, and you repeat. You head off in the direction that you think you want to go, and you just keep on going. How long until you get what you want? Why would you stop before you got there anyway? Why? Because it got difficult? Because it got frustrating? Probably. Maybe got too excited. You got a little, kind of cooled your jets a little bit, right? We'll chat about that today, along with tens of thousands of other folks tuning in right now, a total of 48 million, almost 49 million downloads these days. So a lot of folks since 2006 are tuning in for one simple mission. How do you decide what you want to do, which is usually the hardest part, getting clarity, right? Set up a roadmap, and then somehow every single day, no matter what gets in the way, go after what you want. Well, if you're here, I know you're going to do it, and I'm going to drag you kicking and screaming to what you say you want. Is that okay? I hope so. My name is Scott Smith, founder, chief motivating officer here at motivationtomove.com. Happy you're here today. Our sponsor today is going to make your life so much more fun. I bet you just can't wait, can you? CheapCaribbean.com has been around for 20 years now. I've heard about them. I used them before, actually, a long time ago. And as in the business of providing the best all-inclusive beach vacations just for you. All-inclusive beach vacations. That means you get all you can eat food, alcohol, non-alcoholic beverages, and as well as beach and night activities. They're all included when you book a Cheap Caribbean vacation, CheapCaribbean.com. All-inclusive. It means you get more food, you get more drinks, you get more fun. And this is important. Cheap Caribbean has no change fees when you book a Cheap Caribbean resort, and they add trip protection, so you can book with confidence. Less money, less worry, more beach. So be sure to check out their dreams or their secret resort when you book at cheapcaribbean.com. Now, right now, you can take $100 off your next beach vacation when you visit cheapcaribbean.com/daily-boost. A little minus sign between the daily and the boost. You get that, right? Make sure you put that dash or minus sign, daily-boost. cheapcaribbean.com, daily-boost. We'll see you at the beach. We are here in Cherokee, North Carolina. We kind of gravitated down from Virginia to the Maggie Valley to Cherokee. Never been on this side. I've been over in the Bryson City side, and we're hanging out. I was out walking today just a bit. In fact, the program today comes from that walk and comes from things that have happened in the past couple of days. I'll get to that in just a second here. But first, I have a question for you. Have you done your homework? Did you sit down and decide what you want in life? What's good, what's bad, what you want to keep in your world, and what you want to get rid of? It's that simple, really. A lot of folks are so busy these days, tied up with family and friends and work. You don't take the time to think for yourself. And sometimes it takes a little bit more than just a couple of minutes. Sometimes you got to work at it for a week or a couple of weeks until you figure it out. But until you stop and do your homework and really think about what you want in your world, it's not going to happen. You're going to get dragged into somebody else's world. So do your homework. You'll see what happens. So as we travel the East Coast here on kind of a summer sojourn, if you will, out walking today in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. And the last couple of days, a few things had happened to me as I was just kind of pondering the summertime and thinking, well, you know, a few months back, we sold our house very, very quickly and hit the road. And one thing that happens when you make major change like that is, well, suddenly what was is no more. Suddenly whatever world you were in ceases to exist. It's like completing a big project at work when things are crazy one day and the next day they're not. It's like working hard to go on a vacation and one day it's busy, 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 you can't believe it. The next day, you're on vacation. It's crazy how that happens. But about a year and a half ago, the world changed when we were introduced to something called the CorinaVirus, COVID-19. You remember that? Remember when it hit? It was like a Friday afternoon press conference that happened. It was almost like we were all racing down the road, like Interstate 95 here on the East Coast. 95 mile an hour, slammed on our brakes, boom, and directed off to the nearest exit in kind of an undefined detour. It was weird, wasn't it? It seemed like it happened in an instant, and it really did. It was crazy. It caused some real pain and some real loss for people. It still does. Fear and stress for others. Still, as surreal as it wasn't long before most people began to notice that the craziness of our previous lives was replaced with something that was a new normal. But over time, I noticed something else. I noticed something I've noticed in my life many, many times. When things come to an end, there was something that was more like a new nothing. To the surprise of a lot of folks, life kind of slowed to a crawl. Not everybody, first responders, others were busy, busy, busy. But for a lot of people, it was not business as usual, was it? It slowed to a crawl. Schedules changed, and we found contentment by not chasing the shiny objects that life presents us. It was a pandemic pause, and it caused people to reevaluate your life from the inside out. Now, while that happens all the time, this time we noticed it. Happened to me the other day. I was visiting my mom. I've had my Johnson & Johnson shot, but I was kind of worried about it. It started to get a little sniffy, a little cold. Started to feel kind of bad. I've said this before. You know, be careful what you're doing because one day it'll just be over. And if you get sick, it's too late. And I began to feel down about things for a couple of days. Like, oh my God, I don't have any energy. Where am I? Where's my thoughts? Why do I just want to sleep? A little worried. So I went and got tested. I came back negative, so everything's okay. But I tested just to make sure. But it reminded me in that moment, the things change. And when they do, it just changes. When my first wife passed away, she had all these dreams. She said, we'll get to it. She got sick. She said, well, I'll just get some treatment. Then I'll go do the things I want to do. It never happened. Things come to an end quickly sometimes. You have to pay attention to that. You paid off maybe, well, let me ask you this. How many times have you found yourself in an impossible situation and it came to an end with one action? Just one action. That's all it was. If you think of something today that you could change with one action, what would it be? Something that needed to change in one action, one phone call, one conversation, one action would change it. You pay off some debt. You quit your job. You say goodbye to a bad relationship. Imagine what will happen instantly after that one action. Boom. Caught up in the middle where you are today, it doesn't seem like that's even possible. It seems like it's impossible, actually. How many times have you decided to try something new? And when you did, the past instantly disappeared. I've known people, Scott, should I quit my job? Should I quit my job? Should I quit my job? I'm afraid to quit my job. I need my money. I need security. I can't quit my job. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I hate it, but I can't quit my job. And then somebody calls and says, hey, you want to do a job? You can't get out of there fast enough. The past disappears instantly, doesn't it? Did you decide to move into a new home? Start a new business? Go back to school? What was it? How many times have you had the worst pains and your biggest joys, and they've been the catalyst to an exciting new beginning? How many times has that happened? Could have been a death. Happened to me a long time ago. 14 years ago, my first wife passed away. Could have been a wedding. Had one of those a long, long time ago. One of those not so long ago, about like 13 years ago. How about the birth of a new child? Can't say I've had that for a while. Had some grandchildren kicking around. Here, they're getting big these days. Some situations in life they're unpredictable. Yuck, we hate those, don't we? Kind of pisses you off sometimes. Sometimes it makes you feel good, though. Just depends. But the lessons, whether good or bad, learned from those unpredictable moments. The wisdom, if you're smart enough to glean from those, remind you that anything can and will change in an instant. Anything can and will change in an instant. But you know what? When you know that, when you understand that, when you recognize the times in your life when that's happened to you, when the good became bad, the bad became good, the in-between became between. It all happened. But knowing that grants you immense power over your destiny. Especially if you're smart enough and wise enough, and I know you are, to recognize that when you make it self-inflicted, you are the one that is in control. No matter what happens unexpectedly, most of life is self-inflicted. And if you have if you're brave enough, I should say, and if you're smart enough, and if you're excited enough, you'll accept that and say, hey, if most things are self-inflicted, why don't I just self-inflict a few more things? And understand that you can make change instantly. Whatever is holding you down, tomorrow you could be up. If you don't pay attention, if you're up, you could be down tomorrow. Pay attention to those changes. Learn those lessons. And make the best of it in this life. All right, I have no idea what's happening tomorrow, but we will be hiking somewhere in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. I can tell you that much. Probably a relatively flat trail since I haven't been working out a whole lot lately. But we're going to work on it. I promise that. I also promise this. Tomorrow, back with another daily boost just for you to make sure you get out of bed and get done what you want to get done and do it again day after day after day until you get what you want.